Morning. Good morning. What has happened today, y'all? Can you dig? Can you dig? Yeah, my hair needs to be cut. I'm gonna have to get it cut Friday again. I just had it cut like last month. What's up? Can you dig it? What's going on? Long time no see. What's everybody doing? Damn, eh? Yeah, COVID sucks. It's beating the hell out of everybody, isn't it? Can't do shit. Actually, here in Canada, they're in the third stage. In Ontario, we're in the third stage. So, I mean, like, coming off of unlock. So, you're pretty much allowed to do anything now, as long as you got a mask on. Timmy's up. missing a string. So I gotta like improvise up here somewhere to get those notes. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Gotta know your frets well. We don't want to hear that. Oh. Is the border open? That's a good question. I'm not sure. To certain extents, I believe. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you have to be vaccinated. I know that much. They're going to try to force that shit on everybody. I can just see it now. It's just ridiculous. Mark the beast, bud. I don't know. Maybe it's just a placebo where they make you think it's something, but it's really not. You know, I've always wondered that. But why are people getting bad reactions is what I don't get. Is that because they didn't do human trials before they tried to stick us with this shit, or what? Because that's crazy to force that on somebody, but not even, you know. Here's a vaccination I came up with in 4 months. Stick it in your arm or you're not allowed to do anything. No? Yeah, maybe, eh? You know, this guitar right here, thanks to my buddy Derek, who was the drummer of my band for years. This guitar has been used and abused through so many shows we played. Like, I'm telling you, some of the times, you know, in between where I didn't have a guitar or whatever, and even when I did, we still brought this on stage. And this guitar was used for 10 plus years with our band, probably 15, you know. And it just sounds amazing. And I guess the DeArmond pickups are probably some of the best pickups out there. They're open coil pickups, but they don't have bobbins. You can spin the torque like the Gibsons do. You can kind of adjust your pull pieces in your magnet, but you can't do that with these. They're already set. But for some reason, the DeArmond pickups are just crazy. They actually sound like Gibson pickups to me, like the old Gibsons, you know. Oh, I don't play Buckethead. I play similar to him, but I don't play his music. Never really learned it, to be honest with you. I watch him sometimes. Like, I've filmed on YouTube and checked him out a couple times, and I know who he is, but never actually learned his music. I've been compared to when I've been pissing around with, like, some of my techniques and my solos. Some of it's actually been familiarized or, I guess, compared to his style. But for me, never really listening to the guy, it's kind of weird. He does have a crazy style, though, that's for sure, of his own. Really tell who influenced me. I mean, you can hear it on anything I play. Even when I'm playing, like, an oldies song, it's hard for me to even mellow back to play, like, bluesy type stuff, because I'm so influenced, like, heavily by Eddie, you know? King Edward. Wasn't for him, I wouldn't have picked up a guitar, I'll tell you that. It sucks he's gone. It's going to be a year coming up. Yeah. And, like, my runs, the way I, like, just, you know, down the pentatonic scale, that's exactly his style. Like, he definitely was into the tapping a lot. But he used to do this thing with his his volume swells on his guitar, and he'd do this thing where it sounded like a violin, and it's crazy. And even, like, you basically have to have, like, a zero resistance, like, zero friction pot for your volume knob. That way you can just speed roll it. You know what I mean? Because then when you're rolling off and on, it gives it that kind of vibey. The violin, it sounds so much like a violin with, like, a delay or, like, something added to the back of it, just to kind of give it that, you know, echo off. But it's cool the way he did it. Like, I don't even think I think he used delays, but I don't think, like, a heavy one. So it's just kind of crazy how he made it sound like that. It was like, it sounded like he was, like, playing in an orchestra almost. It's pretty nuts. He was very innovative. I've never seen anybody else play like that, that's for sure. People can say what they want, but he is definitely one of the best guitarists to ever exist, that's for sure. Any way you slice it. You know, then you got Yngwie Malmsteen. He's on another level, that boy. He's crazy. Like, he's more into the arpeggio, speed sweep picking arpeggios and stuff like that. Like, a lot of these, and I noticed that a lot of these younger guitarists and stuff nowadays that are playing this metal, they're all into the sweep picking and all that stuff, and how fast they can do. When I was growing up, it's more about your tone and how you're ringing those notes and stuff. You want the feel of the notes when you're playing them, right? Not just... You want to be able to have some vibrato in there, make that thing sing. If you make the guitar sing, it's going to come out more, stand out more than anything, right? Like, a guitar has his own voice, right? But some people are just crazy with that, you know, that speed metal shit that you hear nowadays. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good guitarists. I mean, their fucking fingers move 90 miles an hour. They're, you know, it's hard to compete with something like that. But at the same time, are they ringing their notes? What notes are they hitting? Are they just playing a mess and they got so much distortion you just can't really tell? And a lot of times when you over torque your distortion, you're not going to hear the mistakes. So, you know, you could make it sound like it's actually going faster and crazier than it really, you know, if you put it on a clean channel and you tried to play that, it'd sound like shit. You know what I mean? So it's just, I know, I've pissed with that before. So, I mean, these guys are so heavily overdriven with their bands that they the notes aren't very clean, you know what I mean? They're not clean cut through the notes. They're not like a Clapton vibrato sound, or, like, you know, Steve Vai. That's a good guitarist. You want to talk about a good guitarist, that boy right there. Absolutely is awesome. Come up with that new tune, knapsack, because he had same thing I had in this hand here. It was flexor tendonitis, so he couldn't even move his fingers barely. They'd lock into place. Like my middle finger kept locking into place for the longest time. It's not doing it so much now, and I never got surgery. So I mean, maybe it's just the machines I was on, which is probably good that I had to find another job, because that's the only at that job. Unfortunately, that's the only thing they did. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I mean, I lost a good job, but I'm in a good spot now at this job. It's KFC, but it's not high paid, but it's definitely a more comfortable position. I'm kind of climbing my way up quick, instead of being stuck paying, at the same position for however. BB King might not be the fastest, but he has absolutely, he's one of the best guitarists to exist. I love BB King, man. All those old boys. Eric Johnson was a good guitarist too. That guy's a phenomenal guitar. Actually, who's that other one from Dokken? Dokken's guitarist. I can't remember his name now. He's amazing though. It's just, oh my gosh. If I wasn't on live stream, I'd check it. His name, I can't remember. I can't remember his name now. That pisses me off. George Lynch. That's the one. George Lynch. That guy's a monster guitar player. Man, he's good. He did a tribute to Van Halen not too long ago. Yeah, that's him. George Lynch, man. Amazing guitarist. He looks like a wizard now. He's got long gray hair. Wears in a ponytail all the time. He looks like a wizard, like Gandalf or something. Like he's aged into himself, his final form. He's like a guitar wizard. He's just great. I've been watching some of his new stuff. He's still doing shows. He's performed with Dokken in the last few years, so that's cool. I believe he still is doing shows with them here and there. He's got his own little kind of super group going on right now, performing. Like, he's great. That guy's just... He's like frozen in time, like Van Halen, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those true 80 metal lead guitarists, just mad riffs. That guy's got monster riffs. Now he's playing a Les Paul. He used to play ESP, but every performance I've seen in the last months, it's been Les Paul, so that's pretty cool. It's kind of neat to see some of your favorite guitarists switch up guitars when they're getting old, you know what I mean? Because you can't beat a Les Paul, I'll tell you. I always said I'd never own one. I owned a couple of the Epiphone Les Pauls back in the day, and I never really got into them so much. And I always thought Gibson was overrated, so I wouldn't even touch them. And then I finally went and looked at this beefed up Gibson Les Paul, that one I have, the studio there. And as soon as I put my eyes on that thing, I was like, that's mine. I picked it up. The thing weighs a ton. It's like, that's going to have major sustain. That's going to have a good ring to it. It's just a beautiful guitar. I don't need anything that's $25,000. This thing's a couple grand. It's just perfect. You know what I mean? But I like heavy guitars. I'm used to it. If I don't have that weight on my shoulders, it kind of makes me. It's weird. You know what I mean? Because I'm so used to it. And it's something about the way it rings through the guitar. Like, it's just so the solidness of a Les Paul. It's almost like, it almost sustains better, I guess you could say. Yeah, I gotta go outside for a minute, buddy. Okay, gonna have a smoke. I'll be right back. No, you're not coming out here. Not the front door. No. Poor guy. Yep. So what have you been up to, dude? My one and only fan here? No. What have you been up to, brother? I mean, I've came on here live a couple times, just briefly, but nobody really stops in anymore. It's like YouTube's really died off with things. Even if I was to go back to pranking, I don't think that would even hit very good. I think people are kind of getting upset about that whole thing now. Like, I've seen that TN4P, they're still posting them or whatever, but I've seen some comments about it and stuff. It's like, it's hard to decide whether that's a good idea for me anymore. I've almost retired the YouTube thing, like, basically, like, it's there if I want to come on and chat with you guys, but I mean, what am I going to do anymore, Kind of in that spot now. I don't know if the pranking is going to be such a good idea anymore, to be honest with you. Just because it's so touchy, you know, with all the COVID crap going on, and just like people have really, they've created almost like, it's like China, you know? They got some kind of propaganda going where they trying to get rid of socialism and like make us hate each other and scared to be around each other, you know, because of COVID and this and that. And it's created a mess, man. Goodbye, socialism. Only we can take that back. But yeah, I figured that's the plan. I knew it right from the start. It's like, yeah, something's going on with this. Like, it just didn't make sense how fast it came about and stuff, you know, because like I remember just before that, I think it was around Christmas time before COVID came around, or just before Christmas, somewhere in though, I got really sick. Like I couldn't even fucking move off my couch. I was sick, like couldn't breathe. I had to go to the hospital. They told me it was some kind of pneumonia, and then it didn't clear up. I had to go back, the same fucking thing. So they just kept telling me to drink water and stay hydrated, all this bullshit. And then a couple months down the road, all of a sudden now you start hearing about COVID-19. It's like, whoa, wait. So, I mean, there's probably a lot of people that had it and didn't even know about it, right? I'm not sure, though. But I do believe it was around a lot longer than they're saying it was. I think they know they fucked up, or it was, conspiracy theorists say that it was done on purpose, so who knows? Usually I find a lot of conspiracy theories end up being the truth. That's the funny thing about it. They call it conspiracy theory so we won't pay attention to it, but it really, some of it actually ends up being very true, you know, or very close to the truth, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get off here after this smoke, I think. I got some yard work to do here, I think. If I even get around to it. I should actually clean the inside of my house or start. Yeah, it's been pretty hectic. I've been kind of in a down slope. Just work back, you know, work home. It's basically it. Haven't had time for myself, really, you know. Hopefully I get some time here or I can get things straightened out. Paranormal tunnel? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Paranormal tunnel? The one we went to? Yeah. Yeah. What was that? The Blue Ghost Tunnel? Is that the one? I think it was Blue Ghost Tunnel. It was a couple hours away, I think. That was kind of fun, that trip, but it's kind of hell because we didn't know where we were going. At least if I ever decide to go back there, I know exactly where it is. Took us a long time. We went all the way around, wiped out. Darren wiped out. A bunch of us just, you know, we had no idea where we were going, climbing all over the fucking side of the river. Meanwhile, it's on the other side. We're like, have to go across and climb all over the place to get to it. Fuck, we almost died in the process, so... It's worth it sometimes to go for trips like that. Sometimes, you know, if you don't know where you're going, it can become a problem, right? Pretty quick. Especially when you want to get there, do the video, and then go home. You know, you got other stuff to do or whatever. You know, I always like to take my time with videos, but sometimes it just gets to the point where it's like, okay, you know, nothing's happening or whatever. You know, but I don't know about ghost hunts anymore either. Like, I don't think people are really taking to that anymore. Like, it's just like, I don't know if I can do pranks anymore. I don't know what I can do on this channel, you know, other than come on here and have some live chats with you guys and hang out a bit until, you know, I can figure out what's gonna be satisfying to people. Because as far as pranking goes, I don't know if I can keep doing that. I'm almost 40 years old, you know what I mean? And just being by yourself, doing it all the time, that doesn't work so well. You got to have a partner with it, you know what I mean? And also the fact that it's a risk, you know. At my age, you get in trouble for it. You look like an idiot sometimes, which everybody can, but I mean, if I'm deliberately having to do that all the time and only making peanuts, you know, kind of sucks. I mean, if I was up there with the rest of those channels, sure. But I mean, I don't want to be known as the fart guy. kind of degrading. It was okay for a while, but then they think, hey, these people are gonna remember me or whatever. You never know. You know what I mean? But we'll see. It's not like I had fun doing it. It's not like I didn't. I always had fun doing it. Doing a little prank here and there doesn't hurt nobody. Gives you a laugh, you know? What do you guys think? It's always going to be a debate for me for the next little bit because I'm not sure what to do. I had a lot of ideas, but then as soon as this COVID thing, and it's just kind of like YouTube's been washed up. There's certain people that have been able to hold on to things, you know what I mean? But a lot of people have just kind of given up on it because it's just like, it's just not the same anymore, right? I'm sure I could come up with some stuff though, make you guys laugh. It's always good to have a laugh. It's pretty quiet out here this morning. Barely even birds. Oh, really? I didn't know that. What happened there? Just not posting anymore or what? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'd be the last person you'd have to tell that to. Trust me, brother. I was complaining about that to him when him and I were having personal talks and stuff, how hard it is for me to keep it going by myself and, you know, running out of places to go. I got to get my license so I can get to these places because nobody has the ambition to do it anymore, you know what I mean? Before it was always fun, you know, all my buddies wanted to come along and enjoy it, you know what I mean? But now everybody's just kind of drew apart. I don't really have too many friends here in town anymore. Like ever since I moved back, it's just been kind of a damper. 4 months, yeah, and I haven't posted for longer, so not for that crap anyway. I haven't posted one of them things in a year probably, other than the stupid little fart spray pranks I did to my buddy there, but other than that, I get where he's coming from with that, man. If you're not getting anywhere with it, you know, you're getting where, but it's just slow, you know what I mean? And it takes a long time to get to where you need to be with it before you're making good money. You're putting more money into it. You got to invest your money with it before you're even going to make it. And you got to be willing to, like, because some, you know, especially me, I don't drive. So it's hard for me to get around to these places. And, like, I can't do them in town here. There's not, you're just going to, too many people know you here. Like, it's just a small place, right? So you just, once you're there and they kick you out, that's it. You can't go back. Or like London, I had ample amount of places I could always go. There's never a place I couldn't go there. I could just do it by myself any point in time there, you know? But I've also struggled. I've had to sell a few things off because I'm in a house paying for things myself. I've had to take time off work. It's been pretty bad. Probably. Or the gay agenda, you know, push the gay agenda. You might start dressing like Lil Wayne or one of those guys, you know, the creeps. Or XXXTentacion or whatever that crap fuck his name is. Just the weirdo agenda they're pushing. Hey, it's okay to be gay. I got no problem with that, man. I have no problem with gay people. I have gay friends. But the agenda they push with it is just not right. You know, it's almost like you're telling your kids right from the start that gay is okay. You know, I get it, gay is okay, but let them decide that on their own, you know, let them carve that life for themselves. Don't push the agenda. When I was growing up, that was not an agenda. It was okay to be gay. There's nobody, you know, I remember when I was young, people were teased for it, but I mean, as we got older, that just became a nothing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Freddie Mercury and all that stuff like that, he kind of carved that way for everybody else, you know, thanks to Freddie Mercury, you know, he was a good guy. And he was gay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make you a different person because you're gay. That's got nothing to do with anything, right? But the agenda behind it is different. It's like you got these fucking weird-ass freaks in Hollywood and running our government and, you know what I mean, our schools. Just fucking weirdos. Pushing some kind of weird agenda. Who knows? But that's what makes our kids fucked up. It does, because they don't, you know, certain things you should be waiting to teach them, you know, till they're a little bit older and things like that, or let them find out, experiment for themselves what they like, you know. But to push it on somebody is a different story. That's like pushing to be straight on somebody, you know what I mean? So really, that shouldn't even be talked about in school or whatever. Just that's on your own, you know what I mean? You carve your own life for that, your own preference, you know what I mean? Whatever you're attracted to, but you know what I'm saying. To push an agenda is a different story. And that's all the government's ever done, is push agendas. They piss off, they hear this. They can hear this all they want. I've got nothing I care about with them. But just goes to show you how corrupt things can be. Like I said, definitely okay to be gay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not an issue. But it's actually really nice out here today. Feels like it's going to get kind of warm, but it's Ontario, Canada. It's been a pretty warm summer. It hasn't been as warm as last summer, though. I can tell you that much. I got a lot of yard work to do. My grass hasn't been cut in about a week and a half, so I've got a jungle to cut down out there still. Lots of fun. And I mean, when you're working as much as I am lately and, you know, trying to make ends meet, and then you got to come home, do all, like, you know, a quarter acre of gardens, and then, you know, a quarter acre of whatever else, you know. There's a lot of work out there. There's more yard out there than it looks like, you know what I mean? A lot of it's taken up by the pond they put out there. It's a pretty big pond, so it takes up a lot. Like, if I was to have built this house and put a pond in, I probably would have only done it maybe half the size of that pond or a quarter of the size, just because, yeah, it's great to have a koi pond, but it just takes up a lot of yard space, you know what I mean, where that could be utilized for other things, you know? But that's just the way it was when I moved in. It's not like I could fill it in and do that. There's fish living in there, so it's a beautiful pond. I mean, I love it, so. It's just like, yeah, when you're sitting out there, you can kind of imagine, you know, looking at it from a different angle, or, you know what I mean? If certain things weren't there, you'd have way more room for things, or that kind of shit. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know All for Pranks wasn't posting anymore, though, so he explained himself. He came on and made a video, or what? Is that what he did? He just kind of resigned himself? Like, he just told everybody how it was? That it's just not going to work, or what? Hey, buddy. Saying hi? Hey, Dingo. 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 Silly boy. What you doing? You're a big cat, aren't you? You're a big kitty. Oh, yeah. You're a big boy. What a suck. You big suck. Oh, I'm getting kisses. Oh, I'm getting kisses. You're a good boy. Daddy's got to clean the house. Or do something. I got to get off my ass and do something today. Yeah, I've been in a depressed stage for quite a while. Just, you know, living on your own in a 4-bedroom house, not being able to keep up with things, you know what I mean? Working so much that you just don't want to do anything when you come home, kind of thing, right? Hey, buddy. And even when I am home for a day, I just don't want to do anything because that's my day off. So it just sucks. It just sucks trying to keep up with things lately. It does. Sucks being depressed. Hey, buddy. Hey, you're in my way, you know. I know you want some attention, but holy crap. And you too? You too? You too? Hey, guys. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so I'm going to get off here. It's been swell. Been good talking to you, Great Lakes. And I will be on again probably in the next little while here. Maybe we'll do something fun the next stream. I'll take you for a ghost hunt. Or I'll do something, you know? Something different. Start interviewing the homeless people downtown and helping them out. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it's been swell. See you guys later.